The Gate to Eldralyn. A tale of courage, unity, and magic. It all began on a chilly autumn afternoon when the forest behind their grandmother's house seemed alive with whispers. Ella, Max, Sophie, and Leo were visiting for the holidays, and their grandmother had given them one rule: don't wander too far into the woods. Strange things happen there. Naturally, this only made the woods more irresistible. Ella, the eldest at 14, led the way, her curiosity always getting the better of her. Max, 12, was close behind, his adventurous spirit urging him forward. Sophie, 10, clung to her sketchbook, drawing as she walked, while Leo, the youngest at 8, kept tripping over roots but refused to be left behind. "Did you hear that?" Leo whispered, stopping in his tracks. "Hear what?" asked Max. "A humming noise," said Leo, tilting his head. The others listened and, sure enough, heard a low, melodic hum coming from deeper in the woods. "Let's follow it," said Ella, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "But Grandma said," Sophie began, only to be interrupted by Max. "Come on. It's just a forest." As they followed the sound, the trees seemed to grow taller and more twisted. The air turned cooler, and the ground beneath their feet felt soft, almost as if it were alive. Finally, they came to a clearing where a massive stone gate stood, covered in ivy and glowing faintly with silver light. "What is it?" Sophie asked, clutching her sketchbook. "It's a gate," said Ella, stepping closer. "But to where?" Without thinking, Leo reached out and touched the center of the gate. The silver light flared, and before any of them could react, the siblings were pulled through the gate in a swirl of wind and light. The four landed on soft moss, blinking in the golden sunlight of an entirely different world. Eldralyn stretched out before them, a land of rolling green hills, crystal-clear rivers, and forests filled with glowing flowers. But something was wrong. A thick shadow lingered over the mountains in the distance, and the air carried a strange tension. "Welcome, travelers," came a deep, resonant voice. The siblings turned to see a magnificent stag standing on a nearby hill. His antlers sparkled like frost in the sun, and his eyes were filled with wisdom. "I am Sylvaris, protector of Eldralyn," said the stag. "You have come at a time of great need. The Shadow Queen's darkness spreads across the land, and only the four of you can stop her." "Us?" Max asked, wide-eyed. "We're just kids." Sylvaris bowed his head. "You are more than you know. Each of you has a gift that this world needs. Together, you can bring light back to Eldralyn." Before the siblings could ask more questions, a sharp cry echoed across the hills. From the shadows emerged dark creatures, twisted, wolf-like beasts with glowing red eyes. "Run!" Sylvaris commanded. The siblings fled into the forest, the beasts close behind. Ella led them through winding paths, her sharp instincts keeping them ahead. Max found a sturdy branch and swung it like a sword, fending off one of the creatures. Sophie sketched furiously as they ran, her drawings magically coming to life to slow the beasts. A wall of vines here, a flock of crows there. Leo, despite his fear, spotted a hidden cave and called out, "This way." Inside the cave, Sylvaris appeared again and scathed. "You are braver than you think," he said. "But bravery alone will not defeat the Shadow Queen. You must journey to the heart of Eldralyn, where the ancient light still burns. Only there can you awaken the power to banish the darkness." The journey to the heart of Eldralyn was fraught with challenges. They crossed a treacherous river where Max's quick thinking saved them from a collapsing bridge. In the whispering woods, the trees spoke riddles that only Sophie could solve with her clever mind. When a storm of shadowed winds threatened to separate them, Ella's calm leadership kept the group together. And when the path grew darkest, it was Leo's boundless hope that gave them the courage to press on. Finally, they reached the heart of Eldralyn, a glowing crystal pool surrounded by ancient stones. Sylvaris stood guard as the Shadow Queen herself appeared, cloaked in darkness and radiating power. "You cannot defeat me," she hissed. "This land is mine." The siblings stood together, their fear melting into determination. Sylvaris whispered, "Focus on your gifts. Let your light shine. Ella stepped forward, her courage igniting a golden light that surrounded the group. Max held his branch-turned sword high, its edges glowing with silver fire. Sophie opened her sketchbook, summoning creatures of light to guard them. Leo knelt by the crystal pool, his hope causing it to glow brighter and brighter until the light filled the clearing, banishing the Shadow Queen and her darkness. With the Shadow Queen defeated, Eldralyn bloomed with life once more. Sylvaris bowed to the siblings. "You have saved our world," he said. "Your bravery, wisdom, and unity have brought light where there was none." The gate reappeared, glowing faintly. "It is time for you to return," Sylvaris said. "But know this, Eldralyn will always remember you, and the light you carry will always be within you." The siblings stepped through the gate and found themselves back in the forest behind their grandmother's house. The woods seemed brighter, and the air felt warmer. Though they were back home, something inside them had changed. They were stronger, braver, and closer than ever before. Vocabulary words: whisper, to speak softly. Example: the forest seemed to whisper secrets as they walked. Treacherous, dangerous, and unpredictable. Example: the river was treacherous, but Max found a way across. Unity, being together as one. Example: their unity gave them strength against the Shadow Queen. Guardian, someone who protects. Example: Sylvaris was the guardian of Eldralyn. Determination, a firm decision to keep going. Example: Ella's determination led them to the heart of Eldralyn. Banished, sent away forever. Example: the light banished the Shadow Queen. Riddle, a tricky question to solve. Example: the Whispering Woods spoke riddles that Sophie solved. Ancient, very old. Example: the heart of Eldralyn was surrounded by ancient stones. Courage, the ability to face fear. Example: Max showed courage by fighting the beasts. Peril, serious danger. Example: the siblings faced many perils on their journey.